in Sydney, the University of Sydney, now also under fire for revelations. It's launched a hiring spree aimed at, quote, indigenising and decolonising its curriculum. I mean, James Stephens, it's as if they've turned a blind eye to the vote of Australians in The Voice.
That's right, Peter. We're going to have a real problem on our hands in a few years' time if all of our graduates are moving away from traditional academic instruction to the Indigenous lens of the law and accountancy, God forbid medicine. I mean, if you break your leg and you go to hospital, you just want the doctor to know how to fix it. So this is also taxpayer funds we're talking about. We're funding these institutions, and this is the latest of many examples of them breaking that sort of bond of trust that they've got with the taxpayer, that they can be relied on to judiciously spend the money we're giving them. And, it's another reason why we've got to look very closely at and potentially reconsider just the sort of independence that they're given to spend this taxpayer funds on rubbish like this.
Let's go to the UK, Nick. I know you watch this one closely. It's been revealed that 38,000 migrants are being housed in hotels in the UK at a cost of £5.5 million per day to taxpayers. There's also a whole lot of other people, 66,000 migrants, in what's called additional dispersal accommodation. This is large homes and flats. The cost to house these migrants is about $145,000 a night per migrant. It's extraordinary because they haven't been able to stem the bleed on their borders, and this is increasing.
There's tremendous anger building in the population there, Peter, as you'd be aware. Ordinary people just are sick of this stuff. They're sick of the inconvenience that comes from local hotels that used to provide facilities where you could have a wedding or you could play golf. They're now closed. They're going over to these migrant accommodations. This was a major cause of the riots, the very ugly riots we saw on the streets of Britain last summer in July and August. That was really driven by this issue. It wasn't much reported because, of course, it was all considered racist and terrible, but ordinary people in Britain feel this. It is a massive issue, and as you say, this latest report, it's not going away anytime soon.
All right, back to Labor here at home, facing pressure over its push to make us all buy an electric vehicle, whether we like it or not, including its controversial vehicle emission standards. It comes just days after the boss of Mitsubishi Australia, he's called for the policy to be overhauled. He's warned that car yards are filling up with EVs he says no Australian wants to buy. We've also seen EV sales stall in the US and Europe for a whole lot of reasons, including this war on Tesla over Elon Musk's role in the Trump administration, which I have to say, James Stephens, just tells me that anyone who bought a Tesla back then in the United States bought it for political reasons. If the reason now they want to junk it is because Elon Musk is working with Donald Trump, we've got to have some common sense here. I'll look for this policy issue actually tonight in the budget, but surely we've got to have a rapid rethink about where we're headed.
Yeah, that's right, Peter, and it will be interesting to see what happens in the budget tonight. But the stuff out of the US with Elon Musk is just ridiculous. And as you say, it goes to show that people seem to be approaching this from an ideological point of view rather than the genuine view of the consumer product. And we've got to reintroduce and re-enliven consumer choice and people making their own decisions without all of these government policies trying to direct people into making decisions that they're perfectly capable of making themselves, particularly what sort of car they want to drive.